it, yada yada yada. And I'm going to disagree with that, and that's okay. Every setter has their own strategy, and every team develops their own strategy, and that's part of your strategy has to be countering what you think the other guy's strategy is. But the one thing that I'll say on pre reinforcing, in my opinion, it's a big mistake to not pre reinforce in the prelims, especially because number one, you're always going to have lag, including reinforcing lag. But the second is you've got a lot of new players who are not quite as skilled as dynamic reinforcing or on demand reinforcing, and that's my opinion on it. Doesn't mean necessarily that I'm right, but I've been right more than I've been wrong on that, and so that's something to keep in mind when you go into semis and finals. It's a little bit different animal because you've got more experienced players usually, and they've at least had a single round, and so you can do more dynamic. I don't think the lag is near as bad in semis or finals as it is in the prelims, but it goes into your overall strategy of, okay, what do we think the other team's going to do and how are we going to counter it? So hopefully that gives you guys some food for thought.
Yeah, for sure. And something I'd like to add to that too is, if you see your teammate getting rallied and you don't have your archer march out in a rally or whatever, your siege march out in a rally, send them that rain. It's going to help your team to go more positive on the power exchange, and you might have ended up missing the rally because it took too long to set and you got bounced from the rally or whatever. But that way you got a rain in your teammates keep, and you're still gonna get points off of that, and you're also gonna help the power exchange too. And maybe your rain march is the one that stops them from getting cleared or whatever too. So
Yeah.
something to keep
I
in
mean,
mind.
and the hardest shift I think for new players in particular coming into Allstars is they think of it like SVS, where you got to be the power exchange has got to be positive, right? I don't want to go negative. I don't I don't want to take a bad hit, or I don't want whatever. And Battlefield, yes, but especially in All Stars, how many rallies have we sent that are negative, power exchange, and we follow it up with a second or third, and you clear the keep. And so the strategy has to be different, and
Correct.
you have to accept that. And
Yeah, 'cause you can't put a bubble on in Battlefield, so there's going to be follow-up rallies that you're going to get a big clear on, and you really make up all those points. And in SVS, a lot of times you'll hit somebody and they'll just bubble right away. They won't take another rally or two or three. But in
exactly,
SVS or in Battlefield, they're stuck. A lot of times they got marches out, they can't port, so you're setting yourself up to get that big clear.
exactly.
Hey, C, how's it going?
Relaxing, trying to recover as
Yeah,
much as possible for Saturday.
there you go.
So,
You
but yeah,
K45 yet?
sorry.
Are you K45 yet?
Yeah, I'm so close, but I'm not gonna make it.
Okay.
I wish. If anybody knows somebody that can give me 200 billion resources by tomorrow, then I could do that.
I mean, if you're on my server, I could hook you up, but
Yeah, I'm still trying to convince Geek that
They
I'm his alt's alt, and he needs to coin my keep, but he hadn't bought it yet. So
Yeah,
Oh, sure, no.
I tried it in my group for semis as well. Just coin me and I'll go BK45. But yeah, not gonna happen.
yeah, man, it's a ton of resources.
You will
Yep,
get there. Don't worry.
I
yeah,
will. I will. I will. I will. I will. But I yeah, what you guys said already. That goes that happened with us as well. Um, I was actually quite surprised because the previous All Stars preliminary was not that much fun for me actually. because many new people and some more panicking and stuff like that. And this time it was really relaxed, even with the new players. So we didn't have the rally on me stuff. It was quite relaxing actually. So I had a lot of fun, which mostly happens during semi or finals because then you're more in
Who was
sync.
who was setting for you?
Maybe you just
Whoop was setting,
yeah, maybe you just got
and
better
I
drugs
did
Oh,
a
this time.
couple. And I did a couple.
Yeah, maybe you just got better drugs this time. Better class of Xanax or something.
Yeah,
that's right.
probably. Probably, yeah. But the other odd thing is that I had really different glitches than I've ever seen before in Avony.
Yeah.
For instance, I when I was wanted to set or join a rally, I had actually no marches, and I only had Cleopatra and no troops.
Yeah.
All my presets were just gone.
Yeah, I restarted in prelims. And like I said, I was a Viper, so I set less than I've ever set as a second setter.
Yeah.
But I literally restarted sometime somewhere between 30 and 50 times.
Yeah, same
You know,
here. And during that reboot of the restarting, that was when Dab rallied me, and I had no reinforcements. So I got 4 tapped, no
Ooh,
reinforcements, but it gave
ooh.
me some good reports, and only the last one was positive for them. So I'm happy with that.
game of inches.
Yeah, I was just only. I mean, at that point, I really just didn't have any marches. I couldn't do anything, so I was just rebooting and rebooting and rebooting, and then that's when I got zeroed. So, but we got through. We won, so that's the most important one. So, yeah.
Yeah, it sucks
So
having
we
to
would.
reset, especially if you don't know that you have rallies set on you.
Yep.
Hey,
Yeah,
So
it
we're,
we
would
were
have.
talking about
I just
passive
had only
range.
one reinforcements. That would have made a game changer.
Right, right. So we were just talking about active and passive range. That every setter has their own preference.
Hmm.
So what are you guys' opinions? Like Mama gave his opinion, and Dragonborn gave his opinion. What are your guys' feelings on it?
Um,
Uh, you can give me reins if you want. That'd be cool. If not, that's cool too.
yeah.
I,
I
I'm
mean,
I'm way
it,
more laid back, I think, than most people.
for me, I mean, looking at preliminaries because I was just rebooting and then I got rallied and nobody saw it. Yeah, then the pre-rain would have been nice because that would have made a huge difference. But on the other hand, usually, I mean, the first one doesn't hurt that much. So by then you already know that you get rallied. So having pre-rain for me personally, I don't really need it, I guess.
Yeah, I think for these some of these bigger keeps that are higher VIP level, it doesn't make much sense to use all the pre-rains on them in the beginning. I would say like rain more mid-size, mid-coiner keeps, and then maybe towards the end when people are setting rallies on those bigger keeps, then you could give them some pre-rains. But
yeah,
Yeah,
I think we were just kind of talking about the concept of it in general, as opposed to are you going to do pre-rings, for your team, or are you not? As far as which keeps are pre-rain, that's entirely strategic, and that's what you have to decide.
yeah,
yeah.
Like
think
if
it's
I
also
if I if I see Reigns going into Seas Keep, I'm not gonna set on it.
I think it also depends on if it's preliminaries or semi or finals. Those three are definitely different
Yeah,
strategies.
yeah. Because honestly, like the average buff of like a prelims rally versus the average buff of a finals rally is pretty
Yeah,
significant. Like finals rallies definitely hit a lot harder than a prelims rally. So
yeah, absolutely.
I'm pretty sure our semis rallies are going to hit pretty freaking hard.
oh yeah, they're gonna be pretty nuts too. Semis, yeah. A lot of the smaller players get weeded out in the prelims. So yeah, semis are pretty tough. But finals for sure. I mean, basically everybody in finals has some pretty good buffs.
Yeah, I'm still bummed that we don't have a K45. So
I mean, you're pretty close.
yeah, but we don't have any in our semis team. So that's
Oh,
yeah.
okay, gotcha. Yeah,
So we don't have the luxury of those huge rally gaps.
yeah, yeah. It's tough.
Which keep Rez is filling.
Sorry,
Rez is filling in our semis. Do we
he
know
is.
which? Yeah, he's keeping it a secret. I want to make sure I zero him first.
I'm not sure.
You're in a different group than me, so I won't be meet. I won't be seeing him.
Also, one other thing is C5 is a hell lot of competition now. The buff depth and when we have Shalon, the semis was like a bloodbath, and the progression of the continent, the depth, the competition is getting fiercer with every AS, with every Shalon. So, what are your guys' thoughts on it?
On our development as a continent. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, the buff depth, the maturity. That's
Okay.
that was on your agenda too.
I
Yeah,
think she's talking about
yeah,
Daps. If you look at Dap, he's like 5K buffs. Come on.
Yeah,
yeah.
Dab is pretty fucking strong. I had to play against him in Shalons. I was not happy.
Yeah.
I would say that C5, and I would say that C5 is progressing very very well, very steadily. I mean, yes, you've got some guys like Dab that they're in Geek and a couple of others that are their buffs are up there, Fahad. But for the most part, most alliances, and I'm going to kind of point at Whoop on this. Most alliances, are building, and they're building with a really solid base where you don't have, like Neo, where you've got 200 billion keep and everybody else is way behind. I think overall C5 is progressing very well, and the entire continent is elevating and progressing steadily, and it's a slow, steady, mature growth, to use the word that you guys use, to where we're actually developing, continent wide, as opposed to, 3, 4, 5, really, really high power, high, touch keeps, and a whole bunch of, everybody else left behind, so, I'm pretty happy with where C5 is, honestly, in my opinion.
What I noticed is that I can totally agree with that. Is that we have so many alliances in C5 that are doing so well.
Agreed.
And the competition is really close. It can go either way between, I mean, 10, 20 alliances or something like that. And we keep pushing each other. I noticed that in our alliance okay, we need to do even more. We need to get more K44s, or we need more of that, because I mean, rest is growing too. So for me, we're pushing each other. And
Yeah,
that's
I think overall C5 is probably the most equally developed continent out of all of them. Uh,
yeah,
Somebody can disagree with me, but I really like where we're at, and I like how we're progressing.
yeah.
Argument here.
Yeah, I'd say it's the most competitive continent for sure.
Yeah,
That
but I don't know how the other continents work together, but us having these conversations and stuff, I mean, we truly get to know each other. I think that most big alliances, many people know each other already, and that's actually fun. I mean, we are competitors, and yet it's friendly.
Yeah, there isn't a very bitter rivalry that I'm aware of that is at the top all the time.
Yeah, true.
It's friendly at the top. Like I don't know of like
Yeah,
oh
you're alone at the top. Come on, Whoop, you know that.
yeah, but Pepe Ka does not have some like arch nemesis that like we
No.
hate and, like we hate. You know what I mean? Like we get along with everybody.
Yeah.
Uh, it's
Yeah,
very
no,
friendly.
yeah, I like that a lot. I mean, I can go, and I've been on just about everybody's team, in All Stars or whatever, and Whoop and I played together. See you and I played together several times as well. I've played with Dab. I've played with just about everybody, and and it's comfortable after a couple of All Stars. You know what his capabilities are. You know what he's going to do. You know his style, and it just we don't have the oh, he's an asshole, and he zeroed me in Shalon, so I'm not gonna join his rallies or whatever. I mean, we just play and go on, and I think that speaks well of us, and is a very is actually a very big strength for C5.
Yeah, there's a
Uh,
mutual respect. I feel that. At least I feel that.
no, I disagree. I feel like there is one general rule for C5, and it's good life advice. You can't beat off slowly. I mean that's just good life advice.
Okay, okay, okay.
I mean, we're facing off against him this round, Whoop. I mean, we're gonna have to beat off slowly this round. I don't know about. We can't let him win,
Oh, it's a slow stroke. I hate it. Oh, it's so bad.
How slowly would you have to say for it?
Y'all need Jesus. That's all I got.
Dab's here.
What up, everybody? Sorry I'm late.
How's it going, Dab?
Life, you know how it is.
Oh yeah.
These damn kids get in the way of playing games.
I gotta say thank you, Dab, for your reports for killing me.
Who was that?
Yeah, they were pretty relentless, no doubt.
Yeah, just see.
I was just happy I zeroed Whoop, even though we lost. I was like, all right, my day is done.
Yeah,
Which time? Like one of 3 zeros?
Well, it was one of the 3 or 4 times in a row. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it was fun.
For you guys, is the importance of field players, those who build rallies? Then, do you prefer secondary setters, the rally callers? How do you make roles in your AS team?
What I notice right now is that because I mean this is I don't know All Star number whatever for us. Um, is that making explicit rules or organizing stuff is getting less and less. It's more like winging it. I mean, we know what we have to do, everybody.
So
I
for sure, what like if I were to develop a team plan, it's join the rallies. Have a nice day. Like
Join as much as you can.
and
just
and
if
keep the
you run
comms
out of
short.
troops, if you run out of troops, heal the march and then join the rally. Like
Yeah.
I don't know any. So I'm a big advocate, and not everyone buys into this, but with PPK, with Allstars, I just like to keep it very simple. I like on an All-Stars team, I'll know 5 or 6 players very well. I'll know 10 of them. Like I've heard of you, and then like 5 or so, I've like, I don't know who you are. Like, welcome to the team. But there's a lot of language barriers. There's a lot of like lack of chemistry. I just like the plan has to be simple so that everyone can execute it. And that plan is I'm going to rally a lot. Join the rally. If you're dead, heal the bullet and join the rally. And that's it. Like anything beyond that, I feel like is creating a complicated plan that's difficult to execute across languages, across alliances, across skill level. Like just keep it simple. All Stars is a very simple formula. Like it's not advanced strategy. Like BOC maybe, Chalans maybe, but All Stars is just a slugfest. Like let's go. And so anything beyond any planning beyond that, I feel actually sets your team back because it makes them think instead of just do. That's my
Yeah, I mean,
opinion. That's a personal opinion.
it's the right opinion. Like, to quote the genius Mike Tyson, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Like, and punch in the mouth is lag. I mean, you can go in with all these amazing plans, and then everyone doesn't know what to do but you can't execute those because half your team is stuck, or you're sitting there waiting on rallies to settle continuously. I mean, those don't work.
Yeah. So I'll share a hot tip because I don't think anyone streamed our particular battle. But normally it's like archers 3, 2, 1, right? I was setting archers 10, 9, 8, like only because that's how long it actually took. It actually timed out to be correct.
Like a
I was also
cricket then, yeah?
laughing while I was doing it, but yeah.
Yeah, and then whoop, how long were you having to wait for it to actually settle? You know what I
So
mean? Like,
this is the part that pissed me off. It felt like 15 to 20 to like settle all the way. But
yeah,
then I was watching Viper play Geeks Keep. He was launching in 10 and he was smacking 80 million rallies consistently. I was like, that's a solo for me. Like, I don't know what he was doing that was so awesome, but like he launched 10 seconds clockwork.
Yeah, dude,
And
I don't know what was going on there because I was having my rallies were taking like 45 seconds to settle, and I'm looking at I
yeah,
watched that stream and I'm just like, dude, how are his rallies settling so fast when I was not getting a rally to settle
I know.
in 45 seconds?
Yeah.
As if we need to like Viper just like butter him up, like, oh, you're so awesome. Like obviously, but like he was launching 10 seconds, like clockwork, and sending 70s, 80s, and I was like, that's a solo for me. That is a solo for me. So I don't know. I'm hoping semis
We had that
is
in
better.
challenge, too, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. But I
I
mean, like,
remember that we had a lot of lag. And I don't know, some team that we were up against said that they had no lag at all.
yeah, that was crazy.
Oh, that
Like,
just, I mean, that feels so unfair.
yeah. See, you were
well,
on my team. It was like, hey, this rally's up, and it was like, is everyone in? They're like marching. Like 20 seconds later, is anyone in this? And they're like marching, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like 80 million reams just joined that keep. Like, am I supposed to send this? Of course I sent it and splatted, like, because I was pot committed, like I was going. But like yeah, it 10 seconds settles was not in the cards at all.
It was
Um,
kind of weird. There were several rallies that just went in straight away, but
Yeah.
those were just in the minority. But the others, I mean, was it 20 seconds? It felt like 40. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Oh,
What
wait, I
what,
feel
what
like this is
Viper what Viper told
I
everybody is he said he messaged customer service, told him he was streaming, he better not have any lag. So maybe we all need to do that.
so X-Wing, I'll address that. I only set 60-minute rallies and I was still having the lag.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always set a 60-minute because you're gonna click the gems to send it anyways. So I just get
Yeah.
used
Right.
to that.
Right.
I always use 62. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm hoping it's a little bit better in semis. Because definitely we would have performed better if we would have launched faster. Because the reens glitch too, right? Like they take a long time to settle, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah. It felt like I was just like, I was setting, I'm looking at the keep, and it's just like, it looked like that keep was rallying. So many reens were pouring into it. I'm like, should I actually send this? YOLO. And then I would send it anyways and like hit 80 million reens. And it's like,
yeah,
well, let's move on. Moving on.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is. Like lag, whether it honestly, I feel like the best setters in Allstars are the ones that like ride the wave of the lag better than anything
yeah,
else. Like 70, 80, 90, 100 million, whatever your cap is. In All Stars, it matters a little bit, but how well you set and handle the lag while setting, I feel like that's a unique skill. And
yeah,
so, like, the difference between 85 and 92 is nothing, is zero. But how well you handle that lag as a setter, I feel like means everything.
Yeah.
Uh, and so, like, that's not a skill you can teach. I don't think. Like, I can't describe what that's like, uh, but it is a thing. And I also think that, like, if you're the setter for your team, every battlefield, like, you probably get it a lot more. If you're one of those keeps that's like, I don't set, but I have the biggest war hall on my team, so now I'm going to set. Uh, I hate to tell you this, but your team's going to lose. Like
yeah,
you are going to lose, no matter how awesome your team is. You have lost. You are a fourth place team. I'm sorry.
yeah. To be honest, you just gotta have a feel for it when rallies are
Yeah,
circling, and you also need to like understand like how to catch keeps with a march out, like and just blast them before they get a bunch of reins in. I mean, there's just so much that goes into it, like just fighting through that lag, man. Sniping keeps, you know, anybody under 15 bill. If you can get an archer on them before they get a rain in, I mean that rally is just going to devastate them. To be honest with you, but yeah, like
yeah,
what I'll do when I'm setting, if I see somebody just ported away from another rally and then they just joined a rally, oh man, I'm setting on them and I'm just hoping that rally settles within 10, 15 seconds. And if I see that happening, I know I'm good. That's it's just constantly scanning the enemy hives, looking for the targets that you know that you can set on and get good positive reports on.
and I'll reiterate something that Viper said in the last event, which he used to gauge the maturity of the server or the continent. And to me, the big indicator of continent maturity or just team greatness is having team members that call like in Siege, in Archer, like when they settle, letting
Yep.
the setter know that it is settled and it's time to go.
Yep. And
Because otherwise, like all the setters know, if you in a normal BLC, you can use visual, like you can see it like 70 million out of 80 million have joined, and like you can launch and 70 million hit, right? But
mhm.
in All Stars, it's like 70 million out of 80 million are in your rally. Then you
or
send it, and it's
110
actually a
million out
solo.
of 90 million,
Yeah,
and you don't know
and
who's in
it
it. So it's
actually ends up being a solo, right? Uh, so or it's like a 10 million rally or whatever. So like your team members, the maturity is really that the broad base of players understand what it takes to actually play the game. And in a heavy lag environment, what that takes is letting the setter know that marches have settled and you can now launch it.
correct.
There isn't a lot more to it than that. It's really that simple. But
And
for a lot of
don't tell
players
the
that are
setter
like,
go 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 go. The setter knows that we're trying to move as fast as possible. You
right,
basically the only thing that the setter needs to hear is, are you in archers? Are you in siege? Are you in calves? Are
right,
you in ground? That's what they
right,
need to hear. And they if you're sharing a keep, just say 15 bill, no reins, hear the chords in chat.
right.
That's it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, and a lot of that maturity, like there's like we'll call it level one maturity, which is I set blah blah blah. When I hear in archer, in archer, in archer, I know to send archers, and it's like I'll look. Oh, it's 90 million. All right, cool, it's gone. Uh, and then like that's just level one. Like that's 101 play. Like if you call it, let the setter know that the lag has been conquered. Level two is you have spotters that have like here's a 9B keep out in outer space, probably like loose hive or just like hiding. Set on them like here 9B in chat. Like that's literally all you have to say is post the chords 9B in chat. That's
yep,
like the second level of development. Third level is scouting somebody, reading the report, seeing that they have no archers home. It's a 15B keep. All the archers are dead.
oh yeah, cab
Uh,
time.
post the chords. 15B send cav. That's like level 3 development, right? Like what I've just described is not complicated. It's not like advanced, but what I think is the challenge is the speed of All Stars is very fast, right? And so you need to, as a player, slow the game down so that it's not like moving faster than you are. But once you're able to join and call the settle, be able to spot and call the like power, be able to scout and call the rally, like boy, you really are. I would love you on my team. Like if I had, so like I'll butter him up. He's not even here probably, but Rez is that player. He is awesome at that. I have one on PPK. His name is Rex Smash. He's amazing at it. Like that player as kind of a complement to the setter is what takes a team from like good to great. And
Yeah,
so anyone about to go to All Star semis, like if you're not the setter, there's so much you can do to like really elevate the quality of your team by just being that auxiliary player that helps your setter. It with those three simple levels that I just described.
It's actually why I like everybody in our team to in the off season to set a little bit so they know what you run into and what you need as a setter, because most
Yep.
don't set and they don't even know what issues you run into and what you're looking for and what you need. I mean, every person has a function in the team.
Yeah.
and you need to know what they need, and the
By
best
the
way
way,
to do that to play well.
I've seen off slowly like the green circle around him, but I haven't actually heard him. I don't know if his like volume is like off slowly. I don't know if your voice is actually working.
Am I muted? Am
So we
I
can
Still
hear you.
muted? Can you hear me
underwater.
now?
Oh, yep.
You got it now?
Yeah.
You.
Oh.
So
No, you're on.
I'll interject. Your internet is very choppy.
Shit. I'm already joined. Give me 1 sec.
Yeah.
See if I can fix.
McDonald's Wi-Fi, I think, is the right call. Oh, while he's working on that, I will shit talk Wonky a little bit. You're going down, you son of a bitch. I'm gonna seed you so good. You're going down.
Yeah, I hope so. You better send a siege rally. It was a disappointment last time.
I know it was.
So here's a question. When we played, we were in the Vipers group, and quite regularly through Viper's feed, he would stop hitting us because we did too many re-ins. So I'm just curious, this is an interesting one to kick around. Can you be too effective at re-ins so you don't get defensive points?
So I will. I'll give my answer to that. So, as a setter, and like, I don't know if I'm supposed to like put all the cards on the table so that everyone knows what the hell I'm doing, but I will. When I'm a setter, the most important thing, in my opinion, is team score control. Typically, I'm setting quite a bit faster than most other C5 setters. I say that with humility, but typically the team I'm on jumps out to an early lead. And so what I do to control the rest of the round is figure out who is in last place and target them until they get close to second place, and then rotate again to last place, which was the former third place team. And I just do this for the first hour almost exclusively. Like I'll just find a hive, smash it, like all the keeps that I think I can smash in 1 or 2 hits, take them out, rotate, like move on to the next hive. Who's in fourth place? Boop. Okay, we're going on to them. All the 15 Bs and down that aren't like tanks. Like there are some 15B keeps that can't be unraveled quickly. By now, you should know who they are because they're in every Allstars and you splat on them every Allstars or whatever. You find those 15B and down keeps that you can 1 or 2 tap. You do that, rotate, just like who's in fourth. Rotate. And then the second half, hopefully, you have a big enough lead that now second and third place are fighting for second place, and they are hitting you as the first place team, which then vaults you as the first place team into the stratosphere. Because now you're getting a whole bunch of defensive points, and they've kind of like, you have broken their spirits by this point. And so they just like, we can't win. And so, like, let's go for second. And then they send the first place team to the moon. So,
If they're fighting second place, then it's over. Then you guys won.
Yeah. So my strategy every All-Stars is to reenact that scenario. Like, get some ridiculously early lead that breaks everyone else's spirits so that second and third place hit you, your team, and which vaults you into like a hyper first, fighting for second. Cards on the table, that's the Whoop strategy. It works. It works really well. So that's what I'm going to do to everyone in B. And good luck, Wonky. You're going down, you son bitch.
Can't wait.
There's a question. If you are in last as a setter, what do you do? How do you not panic?
Do you not panic?
The question is, if you are in the last place as a setter, what do you do? How do you not panic?
So
You
if
just
you're
look for
in last
points.
place, if you're in last place, the good news is everyone should be targeting you. Like every
Yeah.
team wants to get points from you. So heavy reinforce and then hope that all those defenses vault you into like a third or second place where you have a chance to like heal up and then go back on offense.
Hey, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. I was driving and had to walk into a place with internet for a sec, so apologize for that. I also, I mean, just my standpoint, if you're setting, especially on a place like Allstars, you can't. Panic isn't a part of the vocabulary. Like, there is no panic. There's just the next thing to do,
Yeah, you
and then the next thing to do. You know, the past is past. You leave
Yep.
it immediately behind, and you go to the next,
Yep.
and just keep moving.
Yeah, for sure. The only way to play is continually scan hives and set on targets. Those rallies need to be running nonstop. Even if you're in last place or second or third, I mean, you got to keep racking up the points. That's all there is to it. Like off slowly just said, no panic and just keep it moving.
I think the
So you just want to get into that rhythm.
only
You want to get
reason
into the rhythm of setting, of just, regular set, and the team gets into the rhythm, and then it's just you just keep working at it.
Yeah, so like in chat, who said this? Crescendo said this, that Malachi is the example of what to do in fourth. So for those that didn't, because I don't think this one was, from our perspective, it wasn't streamed. I don't think. But with 40 minutes left in prelims, we were up. Just C and I were on the same team. We were up by 600,000 points.
Yep.
And we basically stopped railing. We stopped everything because we wanted to conserve heals. And the second place team, which was 600,000 points below us, in 25 minutes, put on 580,000 points. So that we had to be like, hey, let's stop talking about like tacos or whatever the hell we were talking about. We actually had to hit something. Holy shit, we're about to get overtaken here. Which
Yeah.
at 600,000 points, you would think, we thought was like you couldn't surmount that, right? That's wrong. Like in 25 minutes, they put up 580,000 points. So, and they were in fourth place and ended up almost winning the whole thing in the second half. So, being in fourth place, like in the first half, literally nothing can happen where you were just down and out, like
Right.
nothing.
Yep.
What it comes down to is your team willing to heal? Is it willing to heal the bullets for rallying? Is it willing to full heal and score defenses? Is it willing to? But if it's just like, I'm going to heal one horse and take this portal, your team is done. Like you don't have the winning spirit on your team. But if your team is willing to at least heal bullets, you should never stop rallying. Never. The full heals are for people that are like overcommitted, like they really want to win or whatever. But that's the gauge of your team. You will know what your team is about and what to expect by how active they are in the Discord that you have set up for your team before the match. If no one is talking, your team isn't going to heal. They're kind of done. But if they're just like, "Hey y'all, how are we going to win? I'm super excited." You have a very good chance. You have an enthusiastic team. They're engaged. They're probably going to heal. You should feel good about the team that you're on. But if you're on a team that's like, I don't even care enough to talk right now, you're going to come in fourth. I'm just telling you right now, you're coming in fourth.
So, what do you think? Was this AS more attack oriented or defense oriented? Like past few AS, we've had kind of saying that last AS was more attack related, and before that, the second last AS was more on defense reports, and that was working very well. So, what do you think was the basic thing in this AS?
So I'll give you my opinion right off the bat. I mean, I think right now the game is slightly weighted towards defense. On a per attack basis, I think it's easier to get points that way, especially with reinforcement. And I feel like C5 matured to the space where the reinforcement strategies are pretty sound. So I think attack is a little bit tough. But having said that, you need both sides of the coin. You can't, like, to what Woodwork was saying earlier, if you stop attacking, you fall behind. Unless you're so far in first place that everyone's just trying to pick points off of you to secure the second spot. So I think right now there's weight on the defense side, but you got to do both. Personal opinion.
I think
Yeah.
prelims. I think
Ma-
prelims were definitely attack oriented. Uh,
yeah.
I think semis are going to be much more defensive, oriented, and I think we'll switch again, where finals will be more, maybe 60-40 more on the attack because, of course, finals is going to be the ultimate slugfest, with all the K45s, in the same round. So, but I think, definitely, like I said, being on Viper's team, and we ended up, we were God, a million points or better, higher than anybody else at the hour mark. And it's just because we sent so many more attacks than everybody else. So it was very definitely an attack oriented round, the prelims. But I do think that semis are going to be more defensive based.
Yeah, I mean, so I would think Dab would probably also be able to speak to this pretty well. But up until this All Stars, like every season before this, I feel like I have had a lot of success rallying with the strategy I would call spray and pray. Like literally, I would just set everything on anyone, and it wouldn't matter as long as I was doing team score control. Like you just flat clear it. I mean, you just like launch it anywhere and everywhere, setting ground rallies on 10B key. It didn't matter, right? I think this is the first season of All Stars where I've had to think about it a little more, and I'm a little hesitant because some of the rallies I set, like splatting, can be okay if you splat against the right team at the right time, but some of the splats I was having in prelims were like, we would kill 2B, but we lost 9B. Like, that's not okay. Like, that's even strategic splatting. That's super bad. But this is the first All Stars I feel like that has ever happened. Previous seasons, I would be like, I splatted 3B lost or whatever against 4B lost. Yeah, that's whatever. Like, it's close enough, whatever. Now it's like, you can't splat 2B versus 9B. Like, that's such a score shifter that's bad. And I feel like that's really praise on the development of C5. Like, a lot more keeps are now like very stout, especially with reinforcements. So what that means is you can't just like recklessly throw shit against the wall and hope it sticks, right? You have to actually, like, is that keep reinforced? What should I hit them with? What's the reinforcements? Usually in the first half, it doesn't matter. It's more of a who's got the fortitude to like heal still, and like you're just boop, and then you'll see in the second half, like, all right, now it's distilled this bear or whatever only has 4 keeps with any power left. Like everyone else has stopped healing, but they have 70 million reins. Now what do we do?
Yeah.
Like so that's where I'm talking about, like the force strategy. Historically, in the previous seasons, you could just like splat, and your splats were relatively even or close to even. It was fine. Now the splats can be very bad, and so you have to be more mindful, a little bit more strategic, scout before you send. Otherwise, you're going to ground rally and try to beat off slowly, and it just doesn't work.
I was waiting for that one.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think that kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier in the call about, you know, the teams that are going to be really good in semis and finals are going to be the ones where top to bottom you have smart players that are scouting, looking, calling, and doing that next level, you know, target assessment and direction. And if you make it easy for the setter that way, your team's going to do amazing. But I agree with you. I think the continent's defense has gotten a lot better.
Yes, 100%. Especially with reinforcements.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you know, think about just the amount of defensive capabilities people have built just around amassing absurd amounts of T1 that are super inexpensive to build. You know, it's a strategy in and of itself. You know, that's cheap to build, especially if you've got farms or bots. And I think it's just kind of played off of itself. And then, yeah, now you got, you know, people taking 80, 90 million in reinforcements, and that's a different game than it was 6 months ago, you know?
Yes, completely agree.
So have you guys got good reports to share with us? Some, some things that you would like to, give it out so that those people who are in the listeners can build up an AST and learn from those reports of what to rain with or what to send or the reports that are just helpful to them.
So, one attack, like, I don't know that I have a bunch of reports to share at the moment. I mean, I have some, but, like, I would have to go get them. One thing that I noticed in prelims, and I felt like this was new for C5, was our Cav rallies could one tap keeps of tremendous size. We had several in prelims. We had several one taps of 17B with calves. The strength of calves has really gone up this season relative to other seasons. Last season they were pretty strong too, but these last two seasons, like just pure strong cav rally. Uh, if you are not built out right, will definitely blow your ass apart. If you don't have reinforcements, cab rallies can really do some damage. The other thing I thought was really interesting was we were one tapping 10 to 12B keeps with ground. And I felt like that was new this season too. And
Yeah,
I felt archers in general, like, I don't think that there was ever a 17B keep we could one tap with archers. Like the mechanic of archers, maybe, I don't know. But like I just never felt like an archer rally could one tap a 17B keep the same way that a poorly built keep could be one tap by calves. That was just my impression.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, Woo. You've seen Cav. I mean, shoot, I won't give away. You know, shoot, if we're in SVS, I'll hit any keep with Cav first. It wins every time. It's been going on for a while now, right? And you got to stop and think. There's this common process everybody follows, and range or arch is the first thing out by everybody. A bunch of archer rallies. So how quickly do keeps disappear with archer, high tier archer especially, and no one's really sending a bunch of reinforcement arch. So a cav rally on a keep with not a lot of top tier arch is a zero now. You know.
Yep.
I think that with the amount of cav attack buffs that they've been giving lately, it's really set cav over the top. I think it's probably the easiest buff to attain right now is cav attack buffs, and it's also pretty hard to debuff because everybody wants to debuff archer attack and siege HP and siege attack. So a lot of people aren't focusing on debuffing cav attack, and then you got multiple keeps, quite a few keeps with cav attack buffs between 4 and 5k now, and that's not getting debuffed. And a lot of those people who have those buffs have really high cav HP as well, and that's not getting debuffed either. So yeah, cav rallies are definitely overpowered right now, I think.
I think the two are completely related. The fact that everybody's debuffing archers and siege because that's always historically been the lead attack or the primary attack, and so and we haven't done as good a job of focusing on debuffing the calves, both the HP and the attack, and so it's kind of left a gap, if you will, in most people's keeps, and so we're exploiting that. I think is and next All Stars, I think it'll be different. Maybe it'll be ground. Who knows? But it's we've got to fill the gaps as they show up, and I think for this All Stars, definitely that Cav gap is the big one right now.
Cav HP is actually surprisingly hard to debuff. There's very few sources of it out there that are attainable. But the easiest way in the past has been just add archers, because then you don't need to think about Cav HP, or really, in some ways, Cav attack so much. You've got a load of archers, and you can get archer-ins, you're fine, But now I think that's starting to change.
Yeah, I mean, like, I also think priority on debuffs, and I really do think that in terms of determining if your keep is defensible or worthy of pre-reigns, or whatever that nonsense is. But I honestly think the best indicator of that is your debuffs, not your actual buffs. So, like, if I had to prioritize debuffs in terms of what I thought was most important, it would be range attack, siege HP, cav HP as 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, for sure.
And range attack, relatively easy to get, but like, you got to commit to it. The problem, I think, is it's really hard. I mean, it is really hard to debuff siege HP and cav HP together without heavy coining. Like, without heavy coin, it is nearly impossible to be very good at it. You can be good, like decent, but to be like really good at it, it's like heavy coin only, which I think is a stupid kind of like threshold the game creates, but it is a threshold the game creates.
Yeah. It's interesting. I think that I agree with debuffs things. I think there a lot of players kind of just accumulate debuffs on a sort of random basis rather than targeting them and focusing them on what their build actually needs. So I see a lot of people focus on ground debuffs, and it's like, why? If you're worrying about ground debuffs, you're fucked. You've got no chance at this point. If you're being grounded, you're dead. So don't waste your time on ground debuffs.
So I will admit, earlier on in the game, when I was still really trying to figure things out, I kind of evaluated it as rare meant important, and ground debuffing is rare. Like, it is hard to do outside. Ground HP is easy, but like ground defense and ground attack in particular is very hard to acquire and acquire well unless you commit to it. Now, so I was just like, woo, ground debuffing is rare. It must be awesome. But your assessment, I think, is correct. Don't bother with ground debuffs, because if they ground you, you are already dead, and the debuffs don't matter.
Yep.
Like that,
Exactly.
you want to debuff the things that you're going to get attacked with first. Like you want to do well up front, not later on. That way you survive longer. Like you don't want to do well on the last attack. You want to do well on the first attack, which is siege usually, or archers, or cav. It's almost never ground.
Yeah.
Unless you're like a 5B, then yes, it's ground. But yeah, ground debuffing I think is absolutely the wrong focus. Like spike out of that entirely, unless you're building a trap or something where you're trying to beat solos. That's a very specific thing. But if you're just like broadly looking to like rally survive, ground debuffing is wrong, I think.
No, I agree.
What else you want, Anya? Oh, I see. El Patroon is in the audience.
If anybody from the audience has questions, please let us know. After this, we will be wrapping it up. There is a question from Jake, and he's asking that what are your biggest clears? He says that question for the panel: what was your biggest clear in the report from prelim?
17.4 with calves, one tab.
I haven't actually looked at ours from the prelims. I think we did a 12 bill archer and a couple of others are pretty close to that with Cav. About that neck of the woods.
I think we had a few that were around 13 or 14 bill with archers. About 85 mil rallies.
Yeah, pretty brief. So I've got a question then. I think everybody's noticing T1 Cav getting less and less and less effective. And I think a lot of that's come to do with the buff increases we've seen over the last 6-8 months. So to the point now, I remember the last Allstars, there were people with 2 bill Cav, 12 Cav HP flats getting basically the whole lot destroyed by a range rally. It's not as anywhere near as good as it used to be. So what do people think is the next thing, the next defensive approach now that T1 Cav is basically, it's not worthless. In most scenarios, it's really helpful, but in an all-star scenario, and probably challenge as well when you reach the upper layers, it's not a tank anymore. It's just fodder. So what do people think's next?
I actually really like the Archer T1 build out myself.
Yeah, same here. For me, it's the ladder, the T1, T2, T3 for archers.
Yeah.
I also feel like the T1 cab wall by itself is seeing limited effectiveness below 1 billion. I feel like at 1 billion T1 calves and above, it's still pretty effective. If you can get it up to like 2 billion T1 calves, that's still very effective. But I think that in terms of rally defenses, the ones that layer up where their T2s are like 200 million, T3s are 200 million, T4s are 200 million, and they have really good flats on the wall. Those are still really hard to one tap, no matter what the rally is.
I think it really comes down to debuffs too, because like Wonky was saying, like so many people attack buffs, but then a lot of these keeps have fallen behind on their debuffs too, which is why their T1s get ate up so fast from an archer rally. It's because they're not fully debuffing the rallies that are being sent at them. So I think a lot of that actually just comes down to debuffs. I think that low tier cav builds are still actually very effective, but you need to be debuffing the attacks that are being sent at you. Fully debuffing.
Yeah, and I feel like the debuffs also really help create effectiveness for the reinforcements. Like those heavy T1 keeps with if their debuffs are awesome, with reinforcements, they are brutal. Brutal. But if their debuffs suck, the reinforcement struggle, and so you're able to cut through more and more reinforcements. But like if I'm let's say cav rallying 9B and they have 1B T1s and their debuffs are awesome, like they're capping like my attack, they're with reinforcements, they're going to go positive. So like it's not just T1 build T1 with flats on an island. I actually think that having really good debuffs and worrying less about like because at that point, if you're a T1 defense and like that's your primary strategy, 20%, 100%, I'll go ahead and say 300% cav HP isn't going to matter as much as 100% archer debuffing. Like the debuffs, I think, matter way more than your buffs. So that's my opinion. I'm not an expert on this, but in my experience, T1 defenses debuffs matter more than buffs.
Yeah, but I think on their own, a T1 defense just doesn't cut it against a decent rally. They're not a rally defense, I don't think. But the other thing, point you just mentioned, actually really interesting, is I don't think you can fully debuff some of the buffs. That anything over 4K, certainly over 4.5K, I don't think there are debuffs available in the game to fully debuff that.
No,
anyway.
but if you're at 15% or 1500 archer attack debuff, that's pretty good. Like you just don't want to get hit by 4K buffs and you're debuffing them 600%. Like you don't want 3400 unadulterated buffs smacking you.
No.
Like that's going to go bad. But if you can get it down below 2K after the
then
debuffs,
you're doing great.
Yeah.
You're doing great. And I think that's another thing, another old adage that we used to live by was that you didn't need to think about siege attack debuff because there was so much of it baked in that you could also, it would just automatically be enough. And now it's not. With 11 subs, what am I capping out? 4K? I think I can debuff 2K siege attack. And, there's 5K buffs now. So, debuffs have got a long way to go.
I know that you can debuff up to at least like 4.5K if you coin and you coin properly and you get the right debuff generals. You can get about 4.5K attack on archers, siege for sure. But it just really comes down to what you're coining for your debuff generals. I mean that's having 11 debuff generals basically maxed. And also like you were just talking about debuffing siege attack. I remember before last All-Star semis, Viper put out a video and he's like, don't have AMR in your subs. And I think that has actually changed. I think that Amir Ibn Alaf, however you say his name, I think that he's actually a pretty good debuff general because he gives 40% siege HP debuff and he also debuffs a lot of archer attack. He debuffs a lot of siege attack. And you're seeing a lot of keeps now with siege attack that's over 4K. So it is becoming more important to debuff siege attack, and that debuff general actually. So I run one of him on my sub, because he debuffs cav HP, he debuffs siege attack, he debuffs archer attack, he debuffs a good amount of siege HP. But I mean, those are the main things you want to debuff.
Yeah.
But it really does.
I think for a lot of people who don't for people who aren't heavy or medium pointers, it's really hard to get range attack over 1500 stuff. Things like that. It feels like a game you catch up. Personally, I still have it's more powerful and I mean, they want to be the game, I guess, isn't it?
Was that my internet or Wonky's that was very choppy?
That was wonky. He sounded like a 1980s computer.
Yeah. Wonky, we
Sorry.
couldn't hear a word you just said.
Yeah, he sounded a little wonky.
Yeah. Can you please?
Robot. Let me find what's going on there.
You gotta coin your internet too. It's not just your keys that
Yeah.
need to be.
Oh, I think there we go. I think I've got better internet again. No, I was just saying. I sit on the camp of defense being more powerful than offense if you build right, and if you can get re-ins. And for me, I feel like if they're going to rebalance things, they're going to do it by giving more attack buffs. So I don't think there's a motivation for them to give us more debuffs. Though saying that, the Cake 10 General this time looks very, very tasty.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, but how hard is it going to be to get 15 more copies of them too?
Yeah.
Impossible.
Yeah.
You'd be better
But
off
right now,
with,
one copy.
Nero.
But
Yeah, but right now, one copy, if you spec it, is off the charts.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just compared to what else is out there.
Then, Jan
I mean,
Carroll.
he's like Jan Carroll, right?
Yeah.
No.
He's
better.
pretty close.
Yeah.
Which you can get by just buying one of those.
Jan he's attainable.
stuff.
You can get him in the what's that event where the actual one that's actually a puzzle. That event, he seems to be pretty easy to get there.
Yeah, the hammers with the whatever.
Yeah. Giant
I
something.
feel like Jan Carroll is equivalent to Simsa or whatever this new. But like you can get Jan Carroll for way less than Cake 10, and they're basically the same.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, let's see what the direction the game takes.
It all depends on where this new Simon guy will pop up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cake 10. He's not going to pop up.
Hey, young Carroll started too.
They did go through a phase of the Cake 10 generals appearing in the Trial of Knights chest quite quickly afterwards.
Yeah, young Carroll was the same. It took that didn't take that long for it to show up. So who knows?
Yeah, he was pretty quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if you have to wait for 15 copies in a cake, yeah, that's not going to happen.
No, exactly.
Oh, Patroon is just sitting there in the thing, not speaking. I want to trash talk him so bad. You're going, Patroon. I see you. I see you.
You just came on here to trash talk everybody, didn't you?
I don't know. I'm trying to trash talk more. I'm not very good at it.
Practice is important. It's a good, it's like, regular setting. You've got to practice your trash talk.
Yeah, I got to watch like good 1990s WWF, like trash talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you can trash talk me.
Oh, yes. Oh,
yeah, got them up.
Now I'm just coughing. You're going down. Oh, you're going down so bad.
I already told the team that we're going down, so don't have no expectations. They have to be very.
You got Rev on the team though. I'm jealous.
Yeah, and he's playing 10L too. Stole him. He's up for hire. anybody, but he doesn't take money payments. I mean, not exactly sure how he takes payments, but it's not much.
He's a preacher, man. Can't bribe him.
So we have finally come to the last point in our agenda, that is dragons. Those who are, this is their first all star. What do you suggest? What do they pick? And evaluating different choices. What do you guys recommend to them?
That one's easy. Tree Dragon, number 1. Kokian or the Siege Dragon is number 2. Amaterasu or the Ground Dragon is number 3.
Yeah, I'd go with that. That's what I'm doing as well.
No, I went for
Kristen,
and then for Amaterasu, and then I went for the Tree Boy.
Oh, no. Free
I think-
heals. Free heals.
Yeah, I think a lot of it depends on their size and how, what their alliance looks like and what they look like. I mean, if they're a 5 or 7 bill keep, the tree dragon's not going to be near as valuable to them, as maybe Amaterasu or whatever. And so, it really depends on who they're attacking, what their size is, what their alliance look like, who they're facing in normal battlefields, as far as I'm concerned.
So I see it in chat. Kolkian as number 1. Also an acceptable answer. Because that third talent with death to survival while attacking is incredible. That's why I have him as number 2. So
It was-
like if you're a 5B keep and you just steal bullets,
Yeah.
that would be the more valuable dragon.
It was my first because I wasn't getting attacked a lot anyway, so I didn't need the Tree Boy. That's how we call him, Yggdrasil. But we needed the more siege buff as a team.
Yep. But Kolkian, Tree Dragon, if you said 1A, 1B, totally correct, in my opinion. Like, depending on how you play and what your keep build is, one may be more valuable than the other. But they are definitely the 2 most valuable.
True.
There's a
Must be
thing
bad at
around the
seeking
tree
value.
dragon, though. There's a thing about the tree dragon, though, is a lot of people invest in Thebes. And then to suddenly go to, I've got a level 15 Thebes to now I've got to start all over again with a defense dragon, feels a bit strange and a bit like a waste of resources.
Oh, but Thebes is awesome for reinforcements.
Exactly, yeah. See, Thebes is amazing for Rians, for siege Rians.
Yeah.
So I would say to people worried about that, don't be. The tree dragon is a big step up, and the free heals are great.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Patron, you go for it. Sorry, I think we're talking at the same time.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna express that my defense is very bad. Actually, I'm probably the only K45 without Tree Boy.
I'll see you soon. I'll see you on Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, you're K45 now? Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, man.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
job.
that's awesome.
I have no Tree Boy.
Oh, you will.
Which dragon are you going to go for?
And
you
I'm
going for
not
tree this
getting
time?
Tree Boy either. No, I'm getting 2 dragons, and it's not gonna be Tree Boy.
Okay.
Yeah, I also think what Ram is saying in the text is absolutely correct. There is a threshold in which Tree Dragon surpasses Thebes, but up until that, Thebes still makes sense as your defensive dragon.
Everybody in my alliance, when they go to Allstars, the first dragon they get is coaching. First dragon, coaching. And after that, someone will go for Tree Boy, and if not, it's Latin, Ladon, Latin.
Ladon, I think. Yeah.
I prefer
it feels like Ladon's the last one to get.
Yep.
No, Z's is the last one to get.
Oh, yeah, fair point. Yet another cav dragon.
Yeah, I think Amaterasu is the third dragon to get, only because it's the only pure ground dragon that exists. But ground attack dragon rather. But free like Tolkien's third talent is just very valuable. Tree Boy's dragon, very valuable. Amaterasu is great for your ground march, but how important is your ground attack march relative to your defense? You know what I mean?
Was anybody else disappointed by the Elder Dragon? I was hoping
Yeah.
for another attainable All Stars. I say attainable, another All Stars Dragon. But
I was
instead, you
looking
get this.
for I was looking for a reinforcing dragon or something.
Mm,
But like this Elder Dragon that's going to take 3 seasons to get, please.
yeah,
If
feels
you're
a
gonna
bit like
go
a bit of
I
a
mean,
con.
it is better. It is a lot better than Layton, but it's not that like you're going to have to work hard for not that instant gratification. That's the part that I don't like. I like instant gratification.
Yeah,
Right.
and you're looking at what, a year and a half to get the thing and get it fully specced out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hence why you don't like to beat off slowly.
that's correct. That is correct. Life advice. That's just good life advice.
Rom says that people haven't been competing much in the finals in the older components lately. So this Elder Dragon is gonna make them compete more.
Yes, I mean, like Ram is also nailing it in chat. That's exactly right. Like historically, in semis, I'd be like, okay, I want to make finals. Then I get to finals, and I'm like, I'm not going to heal at all here because who cares? Like, there's literally nothing on the line, and I want to save my heal speeds up. Now there's a reason in finals to give a shit, and it is a master stroke by Evany because it's going to get people to play harder in finals because like finals is one of those things where you just can't beat Geek like Geek is going to win, and so you didn't try that hard. So maybe I'll try a little harder, but I'm still not going to beat him. So I don't know if it matters.
I don't know. I mean, yes, of course. I mean, everybody wants everything in the game, so yeah, you want the Elder Dragon. But if you're gonna heal right now, if you're gonna use every speed up for it for something that will eventually give you some extra buff in 1.5 year, I don't know.
Yeah.
It
Exactly.
also depends on where you're. I mean, I'm close to K45. I can use my speed up. So is it worth for me to already go all in the finals? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know what does it equate to? Like 20% more march size, 150% more buffs on the high end, maybe.
Yeah.
So, like, how much is 150% more archer attack and 20% more march size than Laden worth? What is that worth?
In 1.5 years, when we
Right.
already have way more than that we have now, so percentile
Yeah.
Right.
not going to be that huge.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a calculus everyone's going to have to make. For some people, it's like I think it's worth it. I would love to get it, but I wouldn't go like I wouldn't spend all of my speeds to chase it. But if it's within grasp and I can get it, and it's like a reasonable cost, sure.
Yeah, then I will go as well. But also, I mean, it all depends. I mean, if I have to struggle really hard and spend everything instead of going to K45, then I know what I'm going to do.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right, right. Uh, I don't think the audience has any more questions. So the finishing points, if you guys would like to add something, any reports or best of luck for the coming matches. Let's hope for the best.
Yeah, good luck,
Wonky,
everybody.
Patroon, No, I don't wish them good luck. I'll see you soon.
I
You're
wish
going down.
everybody good luck.
Okay, has anybody seen that Whoop did not trash talk Geek? He trash talked everybody who came up,
Well, I'm not
but
playing
Geek.
Geekin.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he's not playing. Yeah, exactly. He's not playing Geek.
He's
Yeah.
in Group A. I'm not playing him yet.
Oh, yeah, I am.
You don't want to get any preemptive trash talking? Come on, put some effort in, Whoop. Come on.
Geek, you're going down. I'm going to see you soon in finals. Oh, good get you so good.
and then he
Oh,
ends up
God,
in
the
the same
lefty.
team. And then he ends
The
up in the
lefty
same.
is here.
That would be
Truth comes
fun.
out. Whoop is actually Geek Salt. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh,
I just
I
absolutely.
only have one
Viper.
request. Just forget your wall gen. You don't need them.
Great. But everybody just
Thank you
enjoy
so
yourself
much.
Saturday and Sunday and have fun.
Thank you so much and have fun and may the best man women win. And the best thing about C5 is that even the competition is getting severe, even, but the thing is that it's still bonded very nicely, and the sportsmanship is incredible.
Yeah,
Agreed.
it's going to be very competitive. It's going to be a tough semis. Everyone's really good.
It's going to be
I think
great.
it's gonna be easy.
You
Hope
better
you
rally me
everybody
or
will
else
be
we.
happy.
Yeah.
Good luck,
Thank
everybody.
you,
Hey,
guys.
I have an
Thank you so
idea. We
much.
we we we
Yeah.
set 12 rallies on Wonky and see if he survives them. 6 from
Yeah,
Team
I'm
Stallion
game.
and 6 from
I'm
Team
game.
Team and launch him into first place. Team 6 from Stallion and 6 from Team. What team am I in? Bear, Lion? I don't even know what team I'm in. Damn.
I'm all excited now.
Go check Wonky. What team? might even, I might even be in your team.
I don't think you are. I think I'm Am I Stallion? I can't remember what on earth I am. Hang on, let me have a look.
Yeah, you're
Me,
Stallion. No, you're Eagle.
I'm an Eagle.
Whoop is
Yeah, that's
Stallion.
right. I'm Eagle.
I
That's
think
right.
I'm
Yeah.
Stallion. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
in Lion.
Let's all just rally each other and see what happens.
Go for it. Start
They,
first.
they should do that. They should do this thing called Allstars where everybody rallies each other. That'd be great.
You rally me and I solo you back. That's a fair.
Sounds great.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, 2 million
Awesome.
scores.
We
Right?
should do one afterwards with
Every
it when
team,
we're all got PTSD and bleeding everywhere. That'd be great.
every team's going to have 2 million scores. It's going to be a really high scoring match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Boy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, and wish you all the best.
Thanks.
Give
And
it
good
a
luck for
shot.
everybody
Right.
playing. Yeah.
Have fun.
Bye.
Bye.
See you
Take
on
care.
Bye.
Saturday.
Great lag to everybody that plays. By the way, for
Yeah,
all
no
those
kidding.
people wondering
Oh,
about
that's a
lag, I just
given.
want to
That's a
tell you,
given.
you can complain about lag to customer support, but it's part of the puzzles. It's
Yeah.
just like they promote the puzzles before the game. The lag ain't going nowhere. They could fix it, but it's part of the puzzle.
Yeah.
That's
Have
right.
fun.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank
Oh,
you,
there was
guys.
one
Thank
one question I saw was directed at me around Banya about Civ gear on subs. The answer is yes. There's some amazing debuffs of Civ gear, but try to do it in a way that minimises the loss of the 6-piece set bonus. That would be my answer. So you can use
I
like
agree.
2-piece Augustus, which has a 10%. The 2 pieces is 10% attack debuff. So you're kind of only losing 5%. If you can stick 2 Augustus pieces on, then any other Civ gear on that you can, then you're minimising it that way. So anyway, and there's some lovely pieces out there for subs.
Mm-hmm.
right. Wonky, if you will be nice enough to write them down, I will reply them in their comment. So, in case if they're not listening, they will have the answer to their question if you have time.
Okay, sure. I'll see what I can do. I think they're pretty written down and they're probably all in the C5 library.
Yeah.
They're all over the battle mechanics forum as well. I'm sure there'll be a list of them somewhere.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Take care, guys
Thank
and
you.
girls.